Hello, everybody. Hope you're all good. My next video pod, for want of a better word, is with a really good mate of mine for within the World Tour peloton. It is Lukas Pöstlberger of Bora Hansgrohe. He's a former double Austrian road race champion. He's led and won a stage of the Dauphiné, and he's also won a stage and led the Giro d'Italia. And as I said, he's a lovely guy. We look back on his career. We also look at his breakaway in the European Championships this year, and we look ahead to a big career change. Well, a career change from a team perspective, because he's joining Team Bike Exchange for 2023 and 2024. Hope you enjoy our chat. Lukas, mate, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a cancellation, didn't we? We were going to talk to you on the Tour of Britain, but obviously, for various reasons, we didn't have that conversation. But yeah, thanks for coming on, mate, at pretty short notice. But it looks, whereabouts are you, by the way? It looks, am I looking into your back garden there? That looks
Yeah,
good.
it's my garden. I'm at home, and yeah, I got struck by COVID. I'm still recovering, but I'm getting along quite good. It's okay.
Whereabouts in the world are you? Where's home for you? Because I know a lot of riders move all over the place. So where's home for you, man?
In Austria, in Innsbruck.
Mm, of course, I should know that because we hung out
Yeah,
in Innsbruck at the Innsbruck World Championships.
actually, I got an apartment. It's like 200 meters from the parkour from the circuit we did in the Worlds.
Wow. Do you actually on that subject? Where do you train then when you're in Innsbruck? Because the roads are amazing. Do you use that circuit? Do you got that climb much?
Actually, I have to climb the climb from the circuit every day to get home. So yeah, well,
Oh, right.
so
Okay.
but there's many options and many varieties you can go. I'm like really good place because I can do like three different directions in the valleys and also in the climb. So it's quite varying. It's cool.
That's cool, mate. Now, I know you said you had COVID. How are you, man? Because how's your health at the moment? Because obviously your season has been curtailed. So how are you feeling, mate, at the
Yeah,
moment?
I had actually this season was a big struggle for me. I had uh I had COVID last year in December, and then I had it in November, and then I got a cardiac myocarditis in December, so I had to skip the training. And then I started the preparation, and then when it was going well, I had a crash, and then I had a concussion, and then I came back from the concussion, prepared myself for the tour, and then yeah, I wasn't selected, so it was a small mental setback. And then yeah, well, I was preparing for the worlds, and then I was back in shape, and then I got COVID. So
Yeah, because you were me. I was commentating from flag for the whole race for the European Championships, and you were away in the
yeah,
breakaway, weren't you? Was it with Sylvain Dillier, wasn't it?
yeah, I was
Yeah,
with Silva.
you and Sylvain, and yeah, me and Pippa York were commentating. As I say, we got really early, and thank goodness you guys got in the breakaway because it was a great race at the end. But all we were talking about was how you guys looked like you were having a lot of fun. But it early on, you were waving to the crowds and stuff. Just talk a little bit about what that ride was like because it was an unusual breakaway. But hey, mate, you looked like you were having a lot of fun.
Yeah, actually, it was my first race back after the mid-season break, so it was like kind of, yeah, you need to look where you are and how training went, and how the shape is. And I wasn't like supposed to go in the break. Actually, we were trying to go for Marco for the sprint.
Yeah,
Uh, but then the neutral car like accelerated in the neutral already up to 70, 80 kilometers per hour. And Silvan and me were just hanging in the slipstream. And then I just kept going when they waved the flag and they couldn't drop us in the first minute. So we were like, we already had a gap when the race started. So, and then we were like, okay, just keep going a little bit, and then we kind of got caught anyway on the first climb because we were expecting actually a big fight because there was okay, should be a pure sprinter race, but not for real because Spain, for example, they had Ivan and he wanted to have a hard race. I talked
of
with him in
course, yeah.
advance. And yeah, and then we were like, okay, it's gonna be hard on the climb anyway, so we're gonna settle a little bit, and then we wait for the guys from the back to come, and then unfortunately nobody was coming, so it was just him and me, and then we were like, yeah, okay, what do you wanna do? Two against everybody else, and then we said, okay, we're gonna go and we're gonna enjoy it as much as possible, and then maybe we can do something in the final. Silva had a really good day. He was really strong in the circuit still. When we went to the circuit, like and we said, okay, we do the first lap, we do full, and then we see where we end up. And then we had quite a good gap still, and I
Yeah.
was like, okay, we're gonna keep going. But I was running out of energy, and maybe I, yeah, a small mistake. I missed the bottle, and then I missed the jail, and then how it is. I recovered when we get caught, and then I was like stuck in the bunch a bit, and then it was the first crash, and I said, no, I'm too tired for this. I'm gonna just roll to the line, and then yeah. Well, but it was a nice race and was a good
Yeah.
experience.
it's it's interesting though that you're riding at that level, and I think it's worth people thinking about this. That you have. I like the fact that you had a plan, but then just because you ended up at the front, you thought, oh, I'm going to be in a breakaway all day. The plan is completely out of the window. So what was the team? And but with the national squad, it's a little bit different though, isn't it? If you have a smaller team. So what was Marco's reaction when you spoke to him at the end? Was he like, what the hell, or was he like,
Yeah, yeah.
that's cool? What was it? What was it like?
He was quite upset, I guess.
Was he? Oh
We
right. Oh
hadn't.
God, sorry, man.
Yeah, we hadn't had like it's always a bit different when you race with the national team, and of course we were like, it was also Connie there, it was Marco there, and it was Patrick there, so we were four from our team, and yeah, everybody was actually quite ambitious to do a good race, and but you know there is not many races in the year where you can say, okay, it doesn't matter what you do, just you enjoy yourself racing, and then
Sure.
try something different and
Yeah.
see where you end up. And well, I didn't thought about the outcome, to be honest, in the first case, and at the neutral, I just, yeah, well, it happened.
Yeah, I just love that. I think a lot of people watching pro cycling think everything's planned. And of course, you have a plan, but you have to just sometimes you just the race unfolds and that you're presented with opportunities and you have to make a decision in that split second before the opportunity passes, don't you? And that's one of the beautiful things about cycling, though, isn't it? Is having that instinct to know that okay, there's a plan, but plans. Every team has a plan, and none of those plans are going. There's only one plan that's ever going to work out, isn't there? And that's the thing. You got 20
That's,
teams, 20 plans, and even more. Some teams have two plans. So you
yeah,
have to think. You have to really think, don't you?
that's true. Like, especially in those days, I like, you have abilities and you need to approach the race with the team you have with the best possible outcome. So you have to use everybody with his best abilities, and sometimes it doesn't suit the race, or like some guys are there and they feel like, okay, with my climbing abilities, for example, there in the final there's not much I can do, so I need to do something else. And teams, I guess, are starting. They start to think about like different approaches and maybe unconventional approaches as well. Just you need to use your force and to do something in the race, not
Yeah.
only sitting there and waiting to get dropped.
Yeah. And what are your thoughts? We'll look back a little bit on your career with Bora because you're moving on next year. But Lucas, I know you've not had the greatest year because of illness and stuff, but since COVID and since lockdown, and then we had in the end of 2020, the compressed season that we had. And then over the last couple of years, the racing has been insane. We know the level's high, but what are your thoughts? Because you're in the middle of the peloton, you're seeing it happen. You're seeing these young riders emerge, and the level is insane. I mean, as a commentator, racing is amazing to commentate on, but it's becoming even more unpredictable. What is it like for you, and how is the team adapting to that racing? And are you? I'm sure you're enjoying it because you've got another couple of years or hopefully more. But what is it like from your perspective, the modern peloton and the way that they're racing nowadays?
Well, actually, for me, like when I started my professional career, it was already changing.
Yeah,
When I met like more experienced guys, for example, Maciej Bodnar or Markus Burkhardt in those times in the team. So they were like, okay, cycling has changed so much already. And I was like, yeah, for me, coming from Continental and stepping up, and you feel and you see you can do something. And then, yeah, well, it evolved anyway. So now it's like, okay, it is possible that also for like a 260-kilometer race, the race starts already like 40 kilometers in, like we saw
yeah,
last week. So,
yeah, yeah,
and of course, it's amazingly hard to race. because you need to be prepared for everything. There's no guarantee that it's going to be a bunch sprint, for example, or there is not somebody trying something to get away with it, or like doing unpredictable things. So it's quite interesting, and it's a lot of pressure and a lot of stress, to be honest, because there is no like mental recovery as well. So you always need to be 100% focused and ready for action. So
Yeah.
it in this point, cycling changed also the physical conditions. Like everybody's super strong,
Yeah.
and like when we saw the tour this year, the fastest tour ever, and well, I was even like, I was watching the first week and I was like, okay, somehow I'm really glad I'm not there because it looked
Yeah. Yeah.
like when it looks hard, and
Yeah.
when it's looking hard, and that's gonna be, maybe you cannot even describe the pain you feel in the first
Yeah.
week, and stress and the pressure and the tense. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
of course,
it's
it's changed, and we will see where we're gonna end up.
yeah. So how much faster, how much more stressful can the racing become? It is, but it will certainly ebb and flow. But teams have got to adapt, haven't they? And I find it as a not just as somebody who's working in the sport and talking about it, but as a fan as well. I think it's so interesting, and the racing has become very very exciting. But for something to be exciting, there's the flip side, and that's the stress of that excitement, or the stress of that chaos, isn't there? And that's what you feel as a rider. So whether it's a good or a bad thing, and that added pressure it's almost as if you need an outlet. I mean, that's actually, and it leads me to another question, Lucas. Outside of cycling, how do you relax? At the moment, obviously, it's the end of the season. You're forced to relax, but outside of cycling, how do you relax, mate? Apart from drinking nice cups of coffee, like
Coffee.
cheers, by the way.
Yeah, just coffee. No, I like to actually, I like to get on a mountain bike. We spoke last year already,
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I have my routines. I go on the mountain bike. I go out in the woods. I go on the pump track, or some like doing some different stuff. But cooking and coffee is quite good to relax. To be honest,
yeah,
yeah, just to get focused. How you grind the beans, for example, and how you adjust the machine over there, and play a little bit with milk and stuff like this. And yeah, when cooking, food is a major point also for every like professional sportsman. So yeah, it's a good combination, I guess.
yeah, yeah,
Especially also like in the environment now. If you go out for training and you find a lonely road up along a hill or along a climb, it's also really relaxing and calming, I guess.
yeah. It is. I think within training, there are moments where you can, I guess, it's out of the race environment, but you're still working. But I think it's important sometimes to remind yourself of how not privileged a job it is, but how good a job it is, and it takes you to some amazing places, doesn't it? Outside, and I think you need to take a moment to just absorb it.
Yeah, at some point, like it's a privilege. It's a hard privilege
Yeah,
sometimes, but of course we do, like we made our hobby to our job, and we are privileged to race on the top level of the world in cycling. So of course it's something you want to achieve, but on some days or in some races or in some hours on the bike, you feel it's work, but well, it's cool work.
yeah. It isn't bad. I mean, looking back, I mean, just mentioned you 8 years with Bora, Bora Argon, and then obviously, but I mean, but you're moving on to the Australian team Bike Exchange. I hope that goes well. It's a look. It's going to be, I think, a good change for you. But you must look back with a lot of fondness, some good memories in Bora.
Yeah, we built, like, it was 7 years apart from my apprenticeship. I think it was
Sure.
7 years, but don't worry, it's like, of course, it was a long period of time, and yeah, like I grew together with the team, and we achieved really cool stuff, and we won a lot of races, and we made a lot of experience, and we grew together like a family. But at one point, it's like there is so much more in the world. you can do and you can see. So like take a look on the other side. And I'm really curious actually, and really excited to get a new path and a new way started. And I know a lot of guys already from Bike Exchange. So
Yeah.
yeah, for me, actually, the first time of my career to change the team in professional, in Continental, I changed also once. So, well, it's going to be a lot of new stuff, but I guess it's going to be still with people I know, and it's going to be fast back in the routine and yeah, just focus on racing bikes.
That sounds exciting. So, what's next for you? When's your first team get together? Because cycling is a weird sport in that regard, isn't it? Like football or something. There's some mid-season transfers, but basically, you're going to go to the training camp, the first camp, maybe the first couple of camps in your Bora kit. Like we see this, it's so strange, isn't it? I love it, but it's every team that has new riders leaving and coming that's going to be the same. But so, what does the next couple of months look like for you in terms of your appointments with your new team getting set up, mate?
So next week we have like the first get together that we do the medical checks and also like the bike fitting and the fitting for the clothing and everything what is needed to get the new season on the way. And it isn't like 100% decided yet if we do a proper team training camp or we do like a training camp on our own or we do like a training camp where the team provides some stuff and physios and also mechanics to go somewhere, or like everybody is on his own, or we build groups. So it's not for sure now. So I guess the main focus is going to be like for the team for Tour Down Under in January. So there will be a selective squad, and I think this is going to be the major point, and then everything is going to be built around this. And yeah, of course, my focus is going to be on the classic season, and then further in the year, Grand Tours, and then nice one day races, whatever I can get. So some small changes might be possible. It depends also a little bit on the team and on the race program. But I'm gonna do more Ardennes Classics next year, and
Okay.
also some more stage racing in spring. So it's gonna be a change also in the race program. It's cool.
That's cool though, isn't it? I mean, because like you say, you can be happy in a team, and riders move teams. Not, I mean, some riders move teams because they're unhappy. That's clear. But some riders just want a different challenge, don't they?
Yeah.
It's totally normal in a professional career. There are a few riders that stay with one team, but generally speaking, most riders go through several teams. It's part, and I think it's a good thing to have a change of environment, a change of ideas, and you're just what, you 30, 32, 31, 32?
30 straight.
30. So you have lots of time if you want to keep exploring. And what are you most excited about for next year? Moving into a new team environment is always exciting because it's like the first day at a new school, isn't it? But with a load of cool stuff, new bike, new kit, all that sort of stuff. And that's, even when you're a pro, it's still so cool to get all your new stuff, isn't it? Taking all the kit out of the bags. So what are you most excited about?
Actually, I'm really excited about the like the mood and the environment in the team, just to get to know everybody and like to get into the group really, like
Yeah.
because I would call a lot of guys, they're already my friends, so I'm really looking forward to get teamed up with them and yeah, work on cool things and then and start a new journey actually. Yeah, that's what I'm really looking forward.
And I know you said you've tweaked, it looks like you're going to slightly change your program. Um, when you had a meeting with the team and you ultimately signed, was that discussed, what the kind of races you want to do, how you'll integrate into the team, what your role would be? Because clearly riders moved depending on the rider's status, their abilities, there's going to be a team role, but also there's personal objectives for you, isn't there? And you need to have that as well. You need to grow as a rider. You want to have your own opportunities to win big bike races like you've already done. So what are your personal aims within the team? What do you want to do for yourself as well as for the team?
Of course, you know, I'm a classic guy and I really like to race the Cobble Classic, for example. So this was a major point. I said, okay, I'm gonna stick to my classic abilities. I really like to go there, and if there is a chance, like every cyclist dream is winning a stage at the Tour de France. No,
Yeah.
this is for sure. So this is a open secret. So well, you know, but furthermore, it's like I'm 100% loyal and I'm 100% for the team. So if there is a job that needs to be done, I'm your man. So, oh, you need to like. I'm pretty, how you say, flexible. I can
Yeah,
adjust my ambitions. So, of course, the World Championships, for example, will always be a priority point for me because I like for me it's World Championships is in my opinion it's the one of the most important races of the season, even when the teams are sometimes struggling to let riders go because the team ambitions are slightly different than with the race program, for example. But it's a fight for the rainbow jersey, and well, this is for sure also on my bucket list. And yeah, there's like I spoke uh, I spoke with Matt White and with Brian Copeland, and yeah, we had a really good conversation and a really good also fit, I think. So the point is clear. We want to race. We want to win races, and how we're gonna do it, it's gonna be up to us anyway. So yeah, it's cool, and I have a good feeling, and I also get my ambitions fitted in.
yeah. I I know Matt White very well. Speak to him a lot at the races when I'm on the ground. He's always one of my favorite managers to interview because he's so honest and direct, and it
Exactly.
gives
Yeah.
really it gives. He's very
Exactly.
clear, but he's very very passionate. And I raced. I only ever rode one Grand Tour, but it was with Matt on a different team.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, so I rode the Giro in 2000, and he was riding for Casa Grande, so he was defending the pink jersey until the very end. And so we were spending a lot of time talking in the bunch and stuff. And so we go back. So we have this little connection. But he's a lovely guy, but so passionate. And I think what's clear to me with Matt is the fact that he obviously wants the team to succeed as a unit, as a collective, but also cares about the individuals. And I think he, from what I can see and what I hear from riders, he manages the individual riders really well. There's a drive and there's a passion there. So, and I think when I read that you'd moved teams, okay, it was like, it's a shame he's leaving Bora. He's had success there, but I thought, what a team to move to. It did feel really right. So I think you're going to have a whale of it. I think you're going to have a great couple of years, mate. And I think
Yeah.
it's really exciting.
I think so. We like to be honest. I spoke with Matt already like in the COVID season because I was running out of contract and I got many offers to be honest, and I was really close to go to Matt, but then there was like the small. It was so unstable. Like cycling was
Yeah,
already so unpredictable, and then COVID came, and like nobody knew how it's gonna go and where we're gonna go and how it's gonna be. And then there was just a security decision to stay with Bora because I got a 2 years offer. And then I was like, yeah, I was really at this point I was really sorry. So I'm really happy and I'm really glad it worked out this time. So it's cool.
that's fantastic, mate. Well, of course, talking about the World Championships next year, it's in Glasgow, so I'll definitely
Yeah.
see you. So I think I'm going to be working up in Glasgow for that. Well, it's 9 days, isn't it? I'm really excited about this World Champ. It's everything, isn't
Yeah,
it?
me too. Me too. Me too. I spoke also with my friends. I have a lot of mountain bikers, and they go also over there. And I spoke also with Pitcock and said, next year it's gonna be his chance to win the mountain bike title and the road title probably. We were just fooling around, but it's like for me, it's really a cool event because you bring several disciplines and several riders like on top level in one place, and it's going to be a really cool atmosphere, I tell you, because like I know both communities because my girlfriend is used to race mountain bike, and
Okay.
of course like the communities are, I mean, they're matching together because cycling is like a tremendous sport and it's really nice and the competition is cool, but road cycling sometimes is kind of stiff,
Yes.
like it's uh
Bit
everything's
conservative.
so,
It's a bit conservative
yeah,
sometimes. Yeah, yeah.
exactly. And I would like really to get to know how it will be if you bring like both communities together in one place, and it's going to happen. So it's really cool. It already happened in Munich this year
Of course. Yeah,
with the
yeah.
European Championship. So it was quite cool to see already. So, well, we're going to have a nice World Champion experience next year. It's going to be
Def-
cool.
Definitely. Well, if I don't, I'm sure I'll see you at a race before that. But if I don't, I'll be disappointed. But we'll definitely see you at the world. I definitely see you at the World Championships, mate. Well, look, it's been an absolute pleasure. Can't wait to see you racing next year. Have a good off season. Recover quickly, mate. And thanks for being so generous with your time. It's lovely to see you, and you're looking really well.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Really appreciate like you having me again. It's always nice to talk to you, my friend.
Thanks very much, mate. Cheers.
Cheers, bro.
Perfect, buddy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice one, mate. No, thanks. Were you holding the laptop all the time?
Yeah.
I was really quite worried about that. I thought, bloody, no, as long as you're fine, mate. Good stuff. Well, Lukas, thanks very much, mate. Much appreciated. This is going to go on the We Love Cycling. I work every 3 weeks for these guys. I take over their Instagram and stuff like that. And then Cassia Nuyidoma takes it over every week as well. And then there's a lady called Julia Elliott takes it over. So that's what this is all about. It's pretty good fun. So Skoda have got a big presence at all the Grand Tours. So when we were there at the Tour de France, just hung out with those guys. It's a cool bunch of people. So yeah. But thanks very much for your time, mate. And I'll hopefully see you. I won't be at the Tour Down Under, but I'll maybe see you at the Giro or something like that. Whatever. Yeah, do you know what your Grand Tour schedule might be yet, or is it just depending on?
Like, being a foreign guy in an Australian team, I guess like they will form the team around Yatesy and also,
of course, yeah,
around Michael or even Dylan if he's going. So yeah. it will depend a little bit on that. I'm also like planned to do a lead out for those two. So yeah, we will see how it unfolds. If they need me, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
But I'm just glad to get the chance and also to pass my knowledge along. We have a small agreement with like I took with Matt and also with Brian. I'm gonna care a little bit for the younger guys.
Oh, fantastic! Right,
like
okay.
The neo pros, and they are stepping up, and they don't know how whatever and stuff like this. So I may introduce them a little bit to the cycling world. Of course, like cycling is changing every day. So basically, but for the basics.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Where you put your laundry bag, for example, and stuff like this, they're gonna be, like questions they will never ask because they're too shy.
Yes. Yeah.
And makes the life easier.
Yeah, that's cool, mate. No, I think it's going to be a really good fit for you, mate. But we'll take care. Keep in touch, mate, and recover well. I'll sign off now, but I'll catch you soon, buddy.
Cheers, bro.
Take it easy, mate. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.